I'm going to do a voiceover of a Greek travel video that was probably produced in the 70s based on the production and the clothing of the people. And it's a sort of a a non-religious, I should say, travel program, but it does highlight Kefalonia, and Kefalonia is where the snakes of the Virgin Mary appear for August 15th, as we'll see in two churches in Kefalonia. And there's also another miracle that happens on that day where the dried branches, flower stems, start to bud. So flower stems from Easter, which would have been March, April, sometime. Actually, it's from the Annunciation, March 25th, not Easter, so apologies for that. I'm not going to re-record the bits on the flowers. Sometime in that range. I kept until August 15th, and on August 14th, 15th, these dried stems will start to soften and bud. So I'm going to play the video, and I'll do a voiceover. So taking the ferry boat from Patra, we're going to Kefalonia. So this tape is designed to show some unusual phenomena that occur in Kefalonia. It's now going to give a little bit of background to Kefalonia. It's got three towns. And he named the three towns, and I can't recall to tell you. So Samo is the first port town that they arrive, and it's covered in flowers apparently. So Kefalonia is a fish industry island, and also tourism in summer. Music is playing like you wouldn't believe. So Lexouri is the second port. It's the second largest port in Kefalonia. Apparently it's built near an old town or something. There's a lot of earthquakes in Kefalonia, and there's a lot of destruction of older towns and building of newer towns. Apparently Kefaloniotis are good at technical stuff and music. So opposite Lesturi is another township, which is the actual capital of the island, Argostori. So So in Argostoli is the capital, so it's got all the government buildings and civil buildings. And he's talking about Kefalonia's got a number of weird phenomena, like a rock that rocks, like a big boulder that rocks, and various other things. Anyway, but we're going to focus on the snakes of the Virgin Mary, and someone just dived in the swimming pool and did almost a complete 180 flip. So today is Panagias, August 15th, and she's been celebrated in all the churches on the island. Oh gosh, now we've got a local dance troupe, and someone who's playing violin. And, oh God. Come on. Yes, lads. Come on. Yep, come on, let's keep going. We're thanking the performance. Now we're heading off to the churches where the snakes are. So the people gather to the island on the 13th of August. So there are two churches, Agrimio and Marcopolo, that the snakes go to. In Agrimia, it's just a smaller population of people. It's a smaller church, but the snakes will go there, and people are gathering to go to liturgy for the Feast of the Panagia. There's an old school bus. So people got up early and going to church. They've been looking for snakes on their way to church, and look, some of them have got snakes. The snakes come down from the mountains and they go heading towards the church, and they want to go and touch and come up close to the icon of the Virgin. And people will pick up the snakes and carry them into church. They've gone looking for snakes from a site where they've been seen. And look, they said, oh, we're lucky too. We've been able to see some snakes. Oh, there's a snake. Oh, it's a snake. Oh, a bit further down, there's another one. Oh, there's another snake. We'll try and follow them along the path. So this is in some of the ruins or rocks, sort of cliff face near the churches. Oh, there's another one. There it is. They're heading down the road towards the church. People going to church will come across the snakes. They will fearlessly pick them up and virtually play with them. Just watch, on top of their heads there's a little cross. This mystery of the snakes has, interested a lot of people, theologians, scientists, various other people. How do these snakes, for example, become tame And how do the people also not feel scared and would pick up the snake? Yeah, the people have a sort of a peace with the snakes. They're not scared, and no person has been ever documented as being bitten by these snakes. Apparently, the legend is that pirates invaded the island, and were pillaging and raping, and there was a monastery of female nuns, and they prayed to the Virgin Mary for protection, and the Banaya turned them into snakes so that they could be spared, and they therefore disappeared into the wilderness. And so every August 15th, they come to church to honour the Virgin's feast day. Now he's waxing lyrical, poetically. And I think he's saying something about the snakes are like tame and even you can play with them or something like that. I don't know, some waxing lyrical. Now this snake wants to go to church and they're just playing. Oh, no, he puts it down and it's off and running. Well, let's follow the path of the snakes. Here at the footsteps of the church, the snakes climb up the steps and they enter through the gate, through the door of the church. So these snakes in the entrance are sort of unfussed. They generally sort of slow down and take a breath or whatever, or take a breather, and then they head for the icon of the Virgin Mary, the celebratory icon for the feast day. And here the phenomenon becomes even more unusual because there's so many icons in the church, but these snakes only go to the icon of the Banaya. And he's saying, well, what power directs these snakes to go to the icon? And they say, if this is not a miracle of the Virgin Mary, I mean, what is it? And these snakes will go and just stay motionless once they reach the icon. So they've hassled themselves to get to church, and then they come and sit up against the icon and stay still. Now he's sort of waxing lyrical about prophets and apostles giving witness. And why is that guy annoying the snakes? It's just sitting there and wanting to stay still and venerate the Virgin Mother. Now we'll go to the other town. So this town is near the main road. It's a bigger church, there's a lot more people. So the people are coming from all over the place. And I think this church is called the Panayastus Fidios, which is the Theotokos, or the Mother of God of the Snakes church. There are a lot more people there. I think even the bishop will be there. We'll see the bishop there in a minute with his sitting in his throne. So here the snakes are also going towards the church. Because even despite there being lots of people, the snakes go without being worried or bothered by the people. This snake is trying to get up the steps, you'll see. Here's another snake that just appeared. Someone tries to be a bit of a obstruction. Because without fear, the people pick them up. Somehow, handling the snakes, they believe, will give them some sort of blessing. Okay, so the snakes come along, and those that struggle to get into the church are helped by the people to enter the church. So a lot of people outside of the church in the eaves, looking for snakes to pick them up and bring them in. Because this is a very unusual phenomenon, and the whole purpose of this tape is to somehow find a solution to how this is all occurring. Because it's really strange to see people and snakes interacting as if they belong with each other. Because it's amazing that these people are living, these snakes and people are living in harmony with each other. It's amazing how these people just treat this as an everyday, or yearly occurrence of no big deal. Like, talk about freaking out, going to church with snakes joining you. And now we're inside the church. Oh no, we will be inside the church soon. Now what's that priest doing outside the church? He's going to pick up a snake, I think, and go inside. There you go. Come on inside. Here we go. I know, church is boring sometimes, but hey. Oh, it was all for the camera show. Everyone wants to go in now. Now they're going to show some footage within the church where the bishop is and the icon stand, and how the snakes will travel right up to the top where the cross is. Go on. So now we're inside the church. Good old 1970s chandelier. There's the bishop. And then at the top of his staff, you'll see where the two snakes are under the cross. There'll be a real snake intertwined. He looks really awkward. I suspect he's the president of the community. Oh. Inside the church, there's a lot of snakes. Okay, they get really high up on the Panagia's icon. So this one's climbed right up to the top near the cross and just has remained motionless. Yeah, have a look at this snake. It got up onto the icon. It's touching up against the Panagia, and then it stays extremely motionless, as if it's come to find its place of rest. Okay, let's just take a break from the snakes, and we're going to go to another town to see another amazing phenomenon of the dried flower stems that have been kept from Easter, from the Epitaphion, and have begun to bud on August 14th, 15th. So it's at the Evangelismo. Okay, so on the 25th of March, on the Annunciation, people bring flowers to the church, and then they'll dry out, and they'll just leave them at the icon of the Theotokos, and then they'll leave them until the August 14th, 15th. These dry stems on August 14th and 15th will start to bud on top of extremely dead, dry stems. Dramatic music. I think it was this music that got me copyrighted, so I have to probably numb it down. So here's the priest. He's bought the dry stems. And here's this guy. He looks like he's been in a few shots already, so he's probably the mayor of the town. So he goes here in one shot. He's going to take a dry flower stem, so he'll snap it, so it's completely lifeless, and he'll do it to the nth degree, just in case that was. And then you'll see there'll be a bud on top of the dry stem. So dry stem, dry stem, dry stem, dry stem, dry stem. Oh, not so dry, flower bud. And he'll open up the flower so you'll see the petals. So this is one of the other phenomena that occur on the island of Kefalonia, in a church where it's a little bit off the other two churches where the snakes appear. So dry flower stem and green bud at the top. So he's waxing lyrical now about what is it that makes these dry branches or stems to bud. You know, if it isn't the miracle of the Theotokos, well then what is it? And now he's waxing lyrically about something poetic with echo reverb. At the end of the liturgy, the priest will share the flower buds to the people as a blessing. But we're going now back to Markopoulos, and we're getting close towards the end of the liturgy, so people are lining up quickly to kiss the icon, because they know that as soon as the liturgy is over, the snakes become quite animated and quite aggressive and want to leave. And people instinctively will know not to approach them. Oh, so there's the bishop's crozier, if that's what it's called, staff, bishop's staff. So people are quickly venerating the icon because the liturgy is about to finish. So the liturgy is now over, and we'll see some snakes leaving the church. So the snakes have got down from the icons and are leaving the church, but they're no longer the passive little snakes. They're actually quite agitated and a bit aggressive, and people sort of are aware that things have changed and that they're off trying to hide. And people know that even if they were to try and catch them, that they're not able to catch them because they're now become skittish and is fearful the right word? You know, they're avoiding humans, so they're hiding. They're leaving church. They're not even going to coffee hour. Oh well. probably have other things to enjoy after liturgy, like a mouse or a frog. And I think that's about it. So, and this is the end of our video. We came here with a lot of questions, and we, videotaped or recorded exactly what we saw. We didn't do any trick photography or fancy editing or anything. We just wanted to show you the phenomenon, and it's up to you to make your own decision as to what you think's going on. And he finishes off with Yasus. And that's the end of the video there, and hope I haven't, been too disrespectful in my commentary. And I want to thank George Issikos, who gave me his videotape back in the 1980s when I was at uni with him. And now it's 2025, and I caught up with George Issikos the last month or so, and I'm going to hand him his old VHS tape back. Thanks, George.
Στην Ανατολική Μακεδονία και στο νομό Καβάλας είναι χτισμένη η όμορφη Καβάλα.